So in terms of the short versus long-term health risks, can you highlight that? You just spoke a little bit about nicotine and the impact that that would have, but can you talk a little bit about the short versus long-term
Sure.
health risks that are involved?
Sure can. So one major lung disease that we notice that comes out of these devices is caused by a chemical called diacetyl. Diacetyl causes a condition known as popcorn lung. It's a flavor enhancer. It makes something taste more like popcorn or buttery flavor. And what that causes is scarring of the internal aspects of your lung, making it much harder for someone to breathe, and it's irreversible. We know diacetyl causes this, and we know that diacetyl is in every e-liquid that you can find. So that's really the only true long-term effect that we can see so far. Now that vaping has really exploded in the last year and a half, 2 years, we need a solid medical study that shows us the long-term effects of vaping. In terms of short-term effects, we know that the aerosol that you inhale contains the same components when you exhale that aerosol. So even if you're around someone who is vaping, you are being affected by those chemicals once that person has exhaled that aerosol, similar to a secondhand smoke type of an effect. So we know in the short term, it does cause that, as well as exposes people to carcinogenic chemicals.
So just a sub-question or follow-up question to that, I'm thinking that use of e-cigarettes or vaping devices inside of, for instance, a car, any of the release of that chemical is going to be in the air?
Absolutely, absolutely. So you see it differently depending upon what vape devices people are using. If they're using a tank mod, and that is the type of device that's sort of like this huge box with the mouthpiece, that's meant to show a greater amount of smoke or aerosol being exhaled. If you can see that cloud, if you can smell any of the flavorings or what aerosol is exhaled, you're being affected by that. Just as if you were walking past someone who is smoking a traditional combustible cigarette and you can smell somebody smoking. If you can smell it, you're being affected by it.
Okay, so it's very similar to secondhand smoke and
Absolutely.
your normal tobacco products.
Yes.
Okay. From a professional opinion, why do you think that teens today are really choosing to vape?
So about 85% of teens will tell you it's the flavoring aspect. That if you took and eliminated flavors from all different vape or e-cigarette products, that they wouldn't try it. The other 15% would tell you that they're doing it because it's the cool thing to do.
Okay.
Their friends are doing it. It's sort of a social behavior. And unfortunately, what that causes is once they start using, even after they've used one pod, they can become very quickly addicted to that product. And it depends how much they decide to inhale, how deeply they inhale into their lungs, but how often they are using it, and of course the reoccurrence of that behavior.